Well, today's video is just going to be an overview of our 1972 GMC pickup. This old girl we picked up in 2015, and she just kind of kept on trucking the entire time. It's been a pretty good truck, and I know that these are pretty popular, but my son decided that this is the one that he wants for high school, so I got a few years to do this, but we're going to have to really look at it and see exactly what we need. So, obviously, she looks rough. I apologize, I don't have my microphone today, but I lost it in the garage somewhere. I think my hood hinges are starting to give up in the back here because I'm noticing the hood is rising on both sides, and I think that's from the hood hinges. Every single piece of chrome trim is got a dent in it. It's obviously rusty bumper. This fender, we're a little messed up there, and we're pretty rusty along this side too. I do think that those are actually pretty cheap. Let's go check out the other fender. The front's not bad. I can't really tell what's going on there. And yeah, a little bit of rust in the back. Those are pretty cheap. And the hood's kind of doing, it was not always like this. Let's go ahead and pop that and see if we can see what's going on. Well, the hood hinges look normal. Just a 350 small block in here, but it's really tired. It is really tired. Smokes tremendously bad. Other than some basic maintenance items, it doesn't have a lot going for it. And the back is filled up with a bunch of stuff I gotta get rid of. This bedside, you can't really tell, but it's kind of bent in right here. That section's not too bad. And then we get very rusty. Tailgate might be salvageable, but it's definitely going to need some work. This bedside's actually not too bad. This wouldn't be too bad to weld in there. Just a little bit on the inner. And then cab corners. What cab corners? Or rocker panels. Both sides, the cab corners and the rockers are just... Oh, and that's foam. That is foam. Both door handles still work, but they're both like pushed in. I've never got why these do it. My dad's did them too before he fixed them. It had some big giant farm truck mirrors that mounted here, here, and here. I put these on here. They're like a hot rod mirror. They do not work well. Same thing on the button on this side. So I'd have to clean this up a little, but this dash pad's actually new. I added the wood steering wheel in 2015. I did actually remove the other 5 upholstery jobs on here, and covers and reupholstered this, but I didn't have any foam, so there's still some foam and stuff down in there. But I mean, it's obviously pretty basic. I really wish somebody wouldn't have put a speaker right in the door panel right there. Pretty sure that's not factory. And I still have the fuel tank in the factory location. So this is going to need a lot of work. The plus side is, of all the vehicles that I have, this one actually they make parts for. Now the plus side to them making parts for this is it can save me a lot of time by just spending money, which I don't like doing, but considering the Pontiac they make nothing for and the Love they make nothing for, everything for those I have to make stuff, and that takes a ton of time. So at least with the Banana here, this shouldn't be too bad. They make patches for the beds, though I do have another bed. I actually have another cab if I needed it. I already have the rocker panels, the inner, the outer, and the cab corners. But I've never swapped those before, so that's going to be a new experience. The fenders are cheap. I think I actually bought a pair, and I think they're in a storage unit somewhere. I think the hood's usable. I mean, I don't think anything's wrong with it. I'm assuming something's going on with the hood hinges, and that's why we are backing up there. One thing I've never been able to figure out with this is my brakes. For some reason, it pulls to the right really bad. I've replaced the master cylinder because when I first got it, it was just non-usable. And I've tried to bleed them, but it always just pulls to the right. I've replaced the wow, I can't think today. I replaced the brake calipers. There we go. Now I can finally remember. During that time, I also changed out the rear drum brakes. That was the first time ever doing that. That sucked, only to find out that I had a brake line that had a hole in it, which I still haven't fixed. And honestly, I never really planned on fixing this truck. This was kind of a hobby truck that, hey, it fires up, it drives down the road to dump wood once a year, move stuff around the yard. I never planned to restore it. So it was just, I got it for free, and it runs. Now the 350 that's in it also is just completely worn out, smokes. That's why it's the Smokin Banana. I mean, it's toast. I've got another 350 in the garage. I could rebuild this one. We could put an LS motor in it. I don't know what we're going to do. And then it has a 4-speed, but it has the, what is it, SM265. So it's basically a 3-speed manual. I mean, it's got the granny low for first, so you don't really use that for anything, which is ironic. Why would they put granny low gear on a 2-wheel drive coil spring truck? Yes, this is coil spring. I have two 1972 pickups. Both are coil spring. My dad's are leaf springs. So coil spring rides a little smoother, which is why I like them, but to each his own. They definitely don't haul as much as leaf springs. But yeah, so we have a ton of body work to do. We have probably every piece of suspension. I know one of the ball joints is clunking pretty bad. We've got the engine, I'm kind of partial to the 4-speed that's in it, so maybe we keep that. I did put a new clutch in it. Interior, I mean, this would be a ton of work. I do not know why my son wants this one, but he's absolutely in love with this truck. So we are going to start having more episodes on the Smokin Banana as we go, and really bringing this back to life. I haven't given it the time of day compared to all of the other vehicles, yet this is the one that always starts, that jump starts everything. This is the one that hauls stuff around. This is the one half the time I steal parts off of to get something else running, and then I have to bring them back to it when I'm done. Um, I even stole the wheels off it for the Pontiac. I'll show you those here in a second. But you know, it's definitely, I still got a few years before he starts driving. But the amount of work that this particular truck needs, if this is really the one he wants, this is going to be a lot. So whenever he's with me, he'll get to work on some of this with me. But otherwise, there's enough that if I'm going to get it done on time, I'm going to have to do a lot of it on my own. So anybody has any particular experience with some of the stuff on here that I'm going to run into, problems, etc., let me know. Or if anyone also knows where to get the rear control arms. I have one that we were loading it onto a trailer and it had a little bit of an accident, fell off the end of the trailer, and while loading it, fell off the ramp and actually bent the control arm a little bit. And I don't want to buy a new one because they're like $540, but they're like that long too. They're huge. Let me show you the wheels I stole off the Banana for this. So these are the wheels that were on the Smokin Banana, and really good looking wheels. I was actually surprised they had the same bolt pattern, but they bolted right up to the Pontiac. And I think we can all agree full-size Pontiac and those wheels really go together, especially with the low profile tires, whereas on a truck, not so much. So I miss having a good set of wheels on there, and I'll definitely get another set. They're just going to be a little bit more, give the truck a little bit more attitude. Well, this is pretty much going to wrap up this episode, but if you guys want to see this, you guys want to see more videos on the Smokin Banana, let me know. It has a long journey ahead of it, and it's competing for time between the El Camino / Sprint, the Pontiac Ventura, the Loves, the 70 Mile, and the Smokin Banana. They all take time, they all take money, but I do got to get started on this one. What do you want to see first? Anyway, thanks for your time, guys. Have a good rest of your weekend.